If the Vinces are the scourge of YouTube fitness, then the Devons have taken over Instagram. From this Devon to this Devon. It is time to postpone your anabolic window and spot reduce your brain, because I'm about to drop some Devon physique into your life. Best caption wins. You can stand on a big car in a big world. You still have a tiny glove compartment is what I was going to say. Not sure where you were taking that line, you naughty, naughty people. And he's definitely not compensating for anything. If that does sound harsh, wait to see what he is selling, which is everything, and the way that he sells it, and it will all fit into place. And so I can't show most of Devon's posts on his INSTAVIRUS page because they basically him and his partner with their clothes off promoting some supplement. But I am showing some images here, but for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to introduce the pixelated square. I'm Thermogenic James and I ooze heat, which like the fat loss supplements that Devon sells, cannot hack your fat loss. This is, I will try to sell you everything sports science from an Instagram Devon. And so I know his name is Devin, but tomatoes, tomatoes. Pow, 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 pow. Bow, 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 bow. My vote is we film this post again with Amanda Nunes. However, interesting fact, and this is true, the name Devin is of Celtic origin, meaning poet. And here is some finely crafted poetry from Devon Physique selling supplements.
Nightly rituals, 2 of these right before Christina gets it. Game over, put her to sleep. She don't even need rested after this.
And it also comes in written form. The elegance of his scribing is resounding. It is such a poignant statement that it will transcend time and be thought of as a literary masterpiece into the complex human interactions. Or for Devon's followers who are pretty furious right now, let me make this clear for you. Hashtag fabricated lifestyle and persona, which you believe, and the endless range of nonsense that he sells to you. And so some of you are thinking, I've seen this guy before. Don't worry, you're not hallucinating from the branched chain amino acid smoke. Indeed, you are correct. Devon was formerly of Shreds, an alleged Photoshop failure who has evolved to just selling you everything he can on Instagram, including glute muscle stimulators, fat loss supplements, and hair loss machines, which I don't need. Winning. And so let's start with the dunce lift. This is complete foolishness. It is utter insanity. It is dangerous for him and the other person taking part and his followers, who are of course impressionable, and there are almost 2 million of them. And in addition to these tandem deadlifts, which are inherently dangerous, they become even more dangerous when the 2 people taking part have different characteristics. For example, they are of different height. And so to be fair, his Instagram profile is not full of this stuff as the other Devon's is, but he's still responsible for these posts, and he has performed and posted multiple deadlifts like this on his profile. It also takes 2 to tango, and Nikki, who we see in this clip, is also responsible for this neurosis. And what you're going to notice throughout this video is Devon loves to show his cheeks to his followers. Unfortunately, not these cheeks, but the other cheeks. And so this guy tries to sell everything, and I'm going to separate this into 4 categories. Dangerous stunts, completed it mate, followed by supplement selling science by Devon, followed by muscle stimulators, and then a miscellaneous category. And so he sells muscle stimulating machines. He makes directly causal claims. He says that they do this in a causal manner. This is completely incorrect. This is not evidence-based. And I've made a video dedicated to these machines, and here's what I said. And you won't be surprised to know that none of these claims are strongly supported by scientific data. But hold on, because there are celebrities endorsing these muscle stimulators. Famous people such as Ronaldo's clone, Serge Constance, apparently he's a fitness influencer.
Back to work, taking 2 caps of thermo fuel to maximize the fat burning during my workout.
Don't be ridiculous.
This dude is enjoying it way too much. Them sunbathing gains though. Interesting fact, Denise Richards used the ab toning belt before she fought off the giant spiders. Pew, pew, pew is the sound that she made. These people owe Zoolander a royalty check. I could do this all day. Get shocked is close to the phrase needed for these images. And Devon uses it on his arms, his abs, and yes, you guessed it, on his cheeks. 500,000 people watched a video of Devon electrically stimulating his cheeks. If there is proof that humanity, which I can't spell, is doomed, there it is. How many times did you try and sell Kevin Hart your muscle stimulating machines? And so he's overtly selling products which are not evidence-based, and he's using causal claims to do this. The cheek of this guy. If only there was now a free quiz I could take so Devon can get my email address and spam the shit out of me. And so let's move on to supplements. And so I'm not a business studies teacher, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. Placing supplement bottles there as a form of marketing is something I'm pretty sure is not what's being taught in universities right now. Stay classy, Devin. Want to learn to have pizza and some of your favorite foods in moderation? Not sure that pizza's moderation, Devin. You may need to invest in an Oxford Dictionary every day and still get lean. Diet with me and I'll teach you the secret. Ah, Devin is the guy with the secret. You see, I knew that was coming. I knew Devin was the guy with the secret because he promotes the two most redundant supplements in one bottle and a fat loss supplement. If that ain't the guy with the secrets, I don't know who is. 99% of people are looking at this image thinking, oh, cool, look how swollen Devin looks. Let's see what food's in his trolley. I'm thinking, Randy Santa. That man's name is amazing. I want to meet that man just so I can say his name. And I want this to be a way that you approach concepts. And it's a way of thinking where in theory, something seems to make sense. But when you, in practical application with the human body is complicated. Actually, things change a lot. And so if you have been subscribed to this channel for a while, you will know my thoughts on fat loss supplements, and they have changed over time. Fat loss supplements cannot significantly and chronically, meaning long-term, hack your fat loss. Fat loss occurs on a per need basis when it needs to. The breakdown and oxidation of fuel molecules like fat are to release its energy to form heat and to be transferred to an energy carrier molecule called ATP, which in turn is used by cells for its energy needs. So this burning up of fat is needed to produce energy, a per need basis. Again, think of this idea that I've told you that it's hard to trick your body or to hack your body into fat loss. And your body is a complicated vessel and your body is adaptable. It adapts to substances that you put in it because your body is looking for homeostasis, a balancing of the mechanisms within the body. Ultimately, the oxidation of fuels like fat is for the purpose of thermoregulation and or meeting cellular energy needs. Therefore, fuel fat oxidation is on a per needed basis. These fundamental factors of metabolic control cannot be simply overridden by a supplement, meaning it is biologically inefficient to burn through fuel when the body doesn't need to. Physiology is not easily tricked. And so, for example, if you have an ingredient which can increase body temperature, this is a short-term effect. This is not something that will chronically sustain fat loss over time. And if we look short-term at the substances, yes, we can look at something like yohimbe for stubborn fat loss and say, well, this has some evidence-based science to it. But if we take a step back, a long-term lens, a long-term overview of fat loss over time, these types of supplements are not going to significantly hack your fat loss. The majority, if not all, studies demonstrating a statistically significant boost in fat oxidation with fat burners also show very small effects which are almost practically or clinically trivial. These over-the-counter supplements are not going to hack your fat loss significantly. That's why people take under-the-counter fat loss supplements, and in no way do I recommend that, as that is inherently dangerous for you. And so if you are spending $70 on a bottle of fat loss pills, my question to you is, what are your goals? If you are at a higher body fat percentage and looking to lose body fat, you do not need these. These are not your first course of action. Your nutrition and your training, including fat loss protocols, which again, I have all over my channel, are what you need to consistently hammer on over time. And if you're someone that's looking to get absolutely ripped and shredded and very, very low, extremely low levels of body fat, as Devin shows, I'm fairly confident when I say that these ain't the supplements which will get you and sustain you there. And so on to his man supplement, which is a proprietary blend. So even if the ingredients are effective, we do not know the dosage. And when it comes to supplementation, you have to look at ingredients and dosage. The use of the word vertical blend is, however, hilarious. And if they did indeed mean that, they get 5 bonus stickers from me. And so Devin is the typical fitness influential who bounces between supplement companies. 1 month, he's pushing products from a certain company. This is what I use. This product's great. Then a few months or later or whatever, they change companies, they change sponsorship.
If you guys are tired of trying different fat burners on the market and not getting the results you need, then you need to stop what you're doing and try Shredded as It is the best fat burner on the market. It is going to give you guaranteed results.
And then they're promoting a different supplement from a different company as the best thing since sliced bread. We have to be smarter than this. He was once pushing fat loss supplements from Shreds. He's now pushing them from another company. The popularity of people like Devin is as confusing to me as Guy Ritchie, who used to make films like this, now making films like this. However, to be fair, David Beckham was golden balls in that film. But even our David is not safe from the INSTAVIRUS. Devon has been caught training David. Okay, here's an idea. Swapsies. You give us our David back, we'll give you Peter Crouch. And so if you want to buy these supplements, that is your choice. My video is a critique on Devin and the crude and cringeworthy way that he sells these supplements, and I do not think that these supplements are necessary for you. However, this is not some sort of critique on everyone associated with this supplement brand. This does not mean that every supplement from this company is nonsense, because I always get some comments which widen the scope of what I'm saying to something else, which was not my intention. And then he sells miscellaneous, fine, whatever, hair removal machines. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it's another example of how these influentials will just push whatever they can to their mass audience. The checklist for an influencer on the Instagram: well-muscled, candidate for Kinobody's Natty Verified Challenge. I worded that very carefully. A supplement-heavy approach, promotes fat loss supplements, and shows massive cheat meals with motivational quotes. When it comes to the INSTAVIRUS influencer, you nailed it, Devin. But he does know his way around a gym. He does have some decent training information. However, it's just swallowed up by the amount of INSTAVIRUS overtaking his page. And yes, this is some of the worst acting you will ever see, worse than Home Alone 4. However, even in this cringeworthy skit, what this lady is doing is dangerous and silly for her. But I think I've deciphered the subtle message in this piece of cinematic art. And it goes as such: turkeys are not just for Christmas. Apparently, there are a pair of turkeys in your gym looking for a restraining order.
You know what they say, what happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas.
And I apologize to residents of Vegas, but please keep this man in Vegas. Can we please quarantine him under the Ethical Fitness Act created by me? And I got loads of other people I also want to quarantine with him. And so I'm going to leave you with what can only be described as the finest portrayal of the INSTAVIRUS starring Devin Physique. I'm James Linker. This has been the Shredded Sports Science. It's been emotional.